for them and would almost likely assure them a second place in this group, which would put them through to the semi-finals. TYLOO, of course, are looking for a 3-0, and they're pretty much there already. What can they do, though, today against D13? Will it be a clean one? Will it take some time? Or will D13 cause the upset? That's what we're here to find out as we do head into the first map of Train. D13 start off on the T side, and TYLOO are going to look to build the economy early on in the piece with the pistol round win here.
Well, going into the T side of Train, D13 better have a plan, and they have got 3 sets of utilities. So I'd say that they do. 2 of these players setting up outside on the dumpster near T connector, getting their smokes ready. 1 player above SL. A little bit of SL control. D13 just waiting. And in come the smokes. Looks like it's going to be smokes straight onto the bomb train either side. Couple of flashbangs over T connector. Summer trying to get a bit of a one-way, and I think he has found one there.
Rates just running around looking at the ground, dodging a few flashes, and he'll actually spam a fair bit of damage into Summer, who is the player with the kit. That's actually potentially quite important as we head into the later stages of this round. If it does come down to a smoke defuse.
There's 2 flanks from Score and Tamir, who are 2 of the utility users here on D13, so multiple layers to this strat here.
Slowly, not prepared quite for Tamir, gets his head chopped off. It is Summer in the smoke, he's defusing, and the grenade finishes him off. That damage that I spoke about at the start of the round is enough to put him down low, and that finishes him off pretty easily, that grenade. That's going to be the end of the round. D13, they pull off something pretty impressive.
That might be the best pistol we've seen all day, and we've seen a hell of a lot of good teams. Oh man, Warlord smoke on the site, get that bomb down. You got a flank coming in from Ivy, a flank coming in from Inner. That was beautiful. I'm very impressed by that.
Well, we were pretty impressed yesterday by D13 as well, and they're just showing that they are not going to go down without a fight here against D13, against TYLOO rather, I should say, who have actually opted to invest into it. You got a couple of scouts, Dan King and Summer, and not too big of a surprise to see those 2 picking a couple of the scoped weapons up.
Got a couple of scouts. Bit of a force buy out of TYLOO. They don't want to let this game get too far away from them. It's only a pistol for D13. That is a round where you can pre-plan to precision exactly what you want to be doing. Somebody just wide swinging with a CC. Does take out rate, but traded back by Score. Not too bad going for a 1-for-1 there. D13. See if they can hold their nerve in this 4-on-4.
Both of the scouts literally standing right next to each other for a moment there, Dan King and Summer.
Oh, we got a picture of Dan King now. What a strapping young lad.
Does look like a bit of a fresher face. I will say that much.
He looks like he hangs out with the freshest dudes and eats at the chillest restaurants.
I would say so. Anyway, Attacker's done a pretty good job onto Annihilation, and this is not looking quite as clean for D13 as the pistol round did. Mr. Cap looking to salvage it, and will do so with the assistance of Score, who's now in the one-on-one. Slowly does have head armor as well, so this MAC-10 might not be too powerful, but Score gets the timing right and slowly just not able to land that final shot. 3 HP, the difference between a won and lost round for D13.
Not sure what Slowly's doing, running around there like a madman in the middle of the train yard. Could have definitely just taken his time there with the Deagle armor. But end of the day, that's some fantastic damage from TYLOO onto D13. Only 1 player surviving. If they upgrade a couple pistols, look, we're seeing 3 Deagles and some Zeus's. That could definitely do the damage. D13, 4 MAC-10s. Gonna farm up some cash. Actually, that's very interesting from Tamir. Just all by himself, running straight into B. That's a bit of a throwback. I haven't seen that for ages. Bit of a money man setup, just sending him straight into B to find out if there's a stack there. Farm a bit of info, and the rest of D13 go onto Outers. Been a while since I've seen that, but slowly 1B onto Score, who's pushing into Dark Side. I think D13 are getting a little bit too loose after that pistol round.
Yeah, D13 certainly not doing this as cleanly as they might like to. And the Deagles putting more damage and more damage in as we watch. Mr. Clap, he just gets clapped. Right, and Annihilation now in a 2-on-4, and there goes Summer to grab the kill onto Rate. Annihilation trying to survive as long as he can here. There is actually no kit for TYLOO, so I think he's probably just won the round there with those few kills. Wow, Annihilation, he's going to finish them all off himself. It's a 1-on-4.
Yeah, but it's against a full eco, man. Like, good stuff from him, but it should not even be coming this close for D13. Regardless, though,
Yeah, somebody
bomb,
has an AK.
bomb explodes. They've given somebody an AK. They're going to be able to reinvest here. Just get all these AKs across the board, and three rounds. You're happy with that if you're D13 here. But they don't have a whole lot of cash to show for it. All of that grinding to get those rounds up against the pistols. So, look, let's see. First gun round would be another round that you would sort of pre-plan from time to time, Jordan. So let's see if they have something special in mind.
A couple of orgs, actually, for TYLOO here. Not something you see every day. At least not anymore. Mac 10 out for Rate again.
I feel like D13's really feeling this upset. Even just seeing how they're moving around the map, you know, just jumping around like madmen, flicking their knives around. You can see they're just bursting full of energy. They're keen for this game. You love to see it.
The tournament lives are on the line, and it's not necessarily just requiring a victory against TYLOO, but even a map could be the difference for them and making it through to playoffs. RMR points on the line.
Fair bit of damage with some utility or some spam onto some of these TYLOO players. There was a progression smoke towards Ivy for D13 there. A bit of pressure towards SL and Inners, but they are just going to walk back between SL and T-Con. That will be where the push is happening. So with Summer in SL, they've got a lot of players on this outside bomb site in some pretty advanced positions. It's going to be quite a hard hold for D13 to crack. Doubled up in T-Con, TYLOO. This is pretty difficult. Let's see if D13 are able to do it.
Certainly, a smoke will go through to Pop Dog, but that's not really blocking off anyone from TYLOO at the moment. Dan King, he spotted the first out. The second is finished off by somebody, and this is looking like a really, really tough nut to crack right now for D13. Although, maybe TYLOO wasn't expecting score. He was the third man in from Ivy, and that has worked to perfection. Slowly, the last man alive now, and he is mollied off in Z Connector as the bomb plant goes down.
He gets dropped on it as well to add insult to injury. No kit for the man, so he's going to have to speed it up. But Tamir and Score are in some pretty good post-plant positions. T-Con and SL. It'll be quite hard to flush them out of these positions.
Yeah, I'm sure Slowly's not feeling too keen about this 1-on-2 anymore. And he is indeed going to follow suit with that train of thought as he'll depart in the direction of the CT spawn. So that'll be another round up for D13, and the first gun round as well. Always great to start off with a pistol in the first gun round, regardless of what side you're on. And again, a very, very impressive setup from D13. That third man in from Ivy just making the difference.
Yeah, it didn't look like it was going well for them. Let's face it, if you're going into that outside bomb site where you've got a double setup in T-Con and 4 players in total on that outside bomb site, it's going to be pretty difficult to sort of crack that sort of defense. But D13, exactly like you said, it was Score, the difference maker, running in through Ivy, popping 2 players' heads off. And yeah, D13 up 4-0 now. Really, you know, these have been quite close rounds, so their economy hasn't really built up just yet. But if they're able to continue this momentum, this round in particular, if they can pick this one up, they could break TYLOO's money at least for the singular round, and that's where you could really start to see them steamroll ahead on the T side here.
D13 are going to take close rounds as long as they're winning them any day of the week on the T side.
Yeah. This is what I love to see, honestly. Just some of these younger Asian teams starting to show up to these games and show us what they're made of.
Yeah, and Score.
Young,
again.
he's young, he's 17 years old, sharp as hell.
5-1 right now. Good news for D13 as they progress forward into round 5 up against the bye that TYLOO has gotten. It's featuring an AWP in the hands of Dan King, who is another one of those younger players from the Asian region that we've highlighted extensively.
D13 grouping up towards inner. This would be a great play for the kind of utility that TYLOO was sitting on. Obviously, it's good that Summer's now rotated in with that Molotov. Rate just spamming away. And look at this stack from TYLOO.
Wow.
A 5-man stack towards the inner bomb site.
D13, are they reading it? They're sending a few players back toward SL.
This is very strange. Looks like TYLOO's got a hard read, but Dan King's going to go back now. That looked like a bit of miscommunication from TYLOO, all things considered, but it is an Innis hit.
Perhaps too little too late for that rotation. TYLOO do start to make their way in, and DanKing is now set up, but is he going to be able to do too much? 1 kill for him, 2 kills now for DanKing. And that's worked out nicely for TYLOO. They get across just quickly enough.
It's got to be scoring the 2-on-3 once again, and he does not miss. What a shot with the AWP.
Tamir, he's seen that player with the orbits. DanKing dancing around on top of the oil train. Will stay here in the smoke and wins the battle against somebody. That's a big one. DanKing surely can't win it from here in a 1-on-2, but you bet your bottom dollar as the player that we know him as, he's going to give it a crack. Pushes his way forward, looking for Tamir, looking for score. Doesn't hit that shot, and that more or less seals it. He's going to back out, but he won't survive this. Or maybe he will. He does manage to kill Tamir. I don't know what's going on. Score will finish it off. Either way, that's the round over, and D13 are up 5-0 over TYLOO. Unbelievable.
That's going to single reset TYLOO. You're looking at 3.5 across the board for most of their players, so they're just going to take a half bite. And D13, another damn close round. But let's face it, look, if they can... Oh, what a shot. That was nasty from DanKing. If D13 can close this anti sort of half buy out cleanly, then they're going to build up a lot of cash. But not only that, even if they can just win it, they're up 6-0 on train. That's almost job done on that T side. At the same time, though, you're versing TYLOO.
Yeah.
You want to get the most out of this as you can. If you're just streaking away with these rounds, you're going to need every single one you can get, because if TYLOO start getting rolling, that's when you're going to see the scores start to get closer for sure.
Oh, score just backed out a little bit there, and Tamir's kind of left high and dry. No trade available, no assistance either. It's not a retrievable weapon for TYLOO at the very least, and I think you're absolutely right. Right now, as D13, there is no way I'm resting on my laurels. I'm getting as many rounds on the T side as I can possibly get.
Yep. So far, so good. Oh, shot from Summer. Continuing his good work, an attacker, and these are the kind of rounds that TYLOO win all the damn time, Jordan.
Yep, they've got control of the bomb. Score. Oh, he misses that shot as well. That's really punishing. It's all onto Annihilation now. He's not been a huge standout for D13, but this could be a huge impact round from him. In fact, it's actually a really hugely impactful round from Summer. 2 kills with that scout. TYLOO get there first.
The E button didn't work for Summer at the end of the round there. Unfortunately, he tried to press it on the AK, and CSGO said no.
Money's in a pretty bad position, actually, for D13 right now. So
it's all these close rounds, man. All it took was
so
that one slip up.
It's really like, you know, you could have seen that half ballooning out even more, but here we are.
That's fine. Look, honestly, 5 rounds on the T side already, with how many left to play. They can still continue this streak, D13. They just need to take a little chill for this round. Try to maybe see if they can take a gun or two off TYLOO. Just focus on that for now, and then continue the good work once they're able to get guns in their hands.
Oh, there's one. DanKing cops a bullet to the head. They're going to keep probing onto somebody who can kind of tell wants to take this duel.
I don't know if I would be wanting to take this duel against Array at this point. Yesterday, he literally 1v5'd with a deagle against Marzalai.
Yeah, Annihilation also catches slowly, so maybe we will continue those shenanigans, though Tamir should be a freer kill. Look at how deep Annihilation is, though, already into the B site. Maybe Mr. Cap can actually dive in there and get the bomb plant down. Oh. Annihilation, he's being true to his name. There goes Summer, and how many more will Annihilation find in this round? TYLOO now struggling. It is classic Asia CS right now, as we see an exchange of force by victories. Surely D13 can pick it up from here. The flank in from score doesn't actually work out. Maybe I've spoken too soon. Attacker, he'll see the player standing on top of the default bomb spot. Mr. Cap, though, surviving for now. And the comms, somebody was looking in the wrong direction. And he's run out of time. He doesn't have a kit. The round is going to go the way of D13. Can you believe it?
6-1. D13 just with a handful of pistols. Not even a force buy there. So that's really going to be helping their economy. A ton of cash in the bank. And even an M4 picked up there at the end of the round by Rate, who's again shown his prowess with the deagle. TYLOO gonna try and put together a buy. Those are not easy shots for Annihilation to hit, particularly that one onto Summer. D13 with the chance now to reset TYLOO's money. Put them on another eco, which would be not only 7, but an 8th round probably for D13. Now, I guess they're just showing us why they're picking Train instead of Vertigo.
Yeah. That said, so far so good is not always where you can end your map. TYLOO are very, very solid at coming back from deficits, and we've actually even seen that a little bit here in Road to Rio. Don't count your chickens before they hatch here for D13. They're only 6 rounds in out of 16, 10 more to find, and Tamir just goes charging out onto the A bomb site and totally fluffs it. Attacker finishes him off easily. And now the rotation coming into the B site. TYLOO calling that early. Mr. Cap has demolished slowly and scores waiting for Summer, creeping up the ladder. This is not going entirely too poorly for D13 at the moment.
Mr. Cap under a lot of pressure at Oil Train here, though. Rate's trying to play off of him.
Mr. Cap falls. But there are still a couple of Ts to find here, so it's not a foregone conclusion for D13. 1 on 3, though, for score. He's got a molly, but there are smokes available for TYLOO, so that's not going to be too big of a deal. It goes straight into the smoke, and he won't actually be able to get down the ramp. That's the round for TYLOO. Bit of an anti-climax in the end.
Yep. Still enough money for D13 to put together a buy here, though, particularly with score holding onto that AK. You can just drop an AK to Annihilation or to Mir. And they've still got another buy they can put together here. They're going to take a timeout, though. They're going to take some time to think about this. Good round for TYLOO, though, starting to turn things around. 3 players surviving, starts to build up their cash. Even if they can turn this down into like a 9-6 half, I feel like that's still going to be a pretty good result for D13. The job's done for them on this T side. The question is, how much further can they push it? How much easier can they make it for themselves heading through onto their CT side?
That's the key sticking point, isn't it? D13 are good right now, but if this ends up going 9-6, you know, we're probably singing a bit of a different song, actually. Come half time, it would have meant that TYLOO would have won 7 or 8 rounds in a row, and we'd be really a bit concerned then about how the form is, the momentum is for D13 headed into that second half. And at that point, it then still sort of becomes up in the air. Pistol round becomes important. But if D13 can put 2 or 3 more on the board here, then TYLOO certainly are going to be the ones with their backs against the wall headed into that second half, regardless of how the other rounds do turn out. So, the job's not yet done for D13, as they'll work their way again towards the B bomb site. Seems like that's where they've been really putting quite a premium on. And this time it might just be a bit more of a drier push, maybe a couple of flashes through that smoke, but they are going to be going straight into Slowly, who's been solid, and that's exactly why. Headshot onto Rate does get chopped on down, though, by Mr. Cap. Bomb is retrieved by Annihilation and planted right on default.
He picked up that molly from Slowly, which is really going to slow down the rotation through CT connector. Somebody's the key player here, trying to sneak through this Oil Train smoke.
You know he's going to walk through this smoke.
He's waiting for a flash from Dan King.
Oh, maybe I was wrong.
Time is ticking away. TYLOO have got to get a move on here.
Well, the smoke disappears. Somebody's just a little bit too late to pick up the kill of Mr. Cap. And I think TYLOO are probably a little too late to make this defuse happen. Not that it's really going to be much of an option. Annihilation again, another couple of quick, sharp headshots, and that's D13 up to 7.
7 and 2. Wiping the floor with TYLOO at the moment. Another buy coming through from TYLOO. After a solid win in the last round, they've got enough cash to be able to recover from that win from D13. But they do have to go down to an MP9 on Slowly, a CZ on Summer. So they're going to go on the offensive towards lower ramp here.
Wow, that's not how you want to start things off. At the very least, Annihilation's able to trade back on down, but it's going to require score dealing with Attacker. Otherwise, Tamir's out kind of high and dry. That said, Attacker, he doesn't seem to be aware that Tamir is actually out onto the bomb site, so that's not worked out too nicely for TYLOO at all. And wow, what a shot from Tamir as somebody falls and puts it into a 1-on-2 for Summer. A CZ only to his name. They don't even need to plant the bomb here, D13. They can just brawl it out with TYLOO.
That's going to be TYLOO reset, at least for the singular round. 3 to 3.5k in the bank. They're going to take a timeout. D13 is absolutely smacking one of the best teams in the region. This is what we love about competitions like Road to Rio. D13, they have grinded their way through the open circuit to make it to this competition, to show us what they're made of, and now they're doing it.
That statistic may be about to change. And it is true, they've only played 4 maps of Counter-Strike with the core roster that they have now.
Yeah, and they almost lost 2 of them.
That's true. But it's not over yet. D13 been doing well on their T side.
Maybe it's just like Mongolians, TYLOO's new kryptonite.
Perhaps.
Which, if you think about it, if TYLOO goes through first place in this group, that's probably not good news.
No. Actually, one would argue normally that D13 is a stronger side than Tiger. Or not a stronger side.
Tiger's
the stronger side. Yeah, Tiger's the stronger side, in theory, than D13. But you never know how these things end up panning out.
D13's playing damn good on train, I'll give him that.
I gotta say, I've actually been pretty impressed with Mr. Cap today.
Yeah?
Didn't talk too much about Mr. Cap yesterday.
Oh,
but
I remember that round he was holding down long.
Yeah, like he had a few rounds, but I think here he's been really good, really solid on the trades, and actually looking like a bit more of an entry kind of style from Mr. Cap today as well, and there is just another example of it. Tan King ends up falling, and slightly he gave a moment of excitement, but another round for D13, and in reality now it's kind of like, well, this is the new normal.
TYLOO going to put together a buy. It's going to be a double AWP that they're going to try and go for to slow this Crusade down from D13. 9 and 2, unbelievable. Still got enough cash for another buy, even if this double AWP does get through for TYLOO. Try and give D13 double digits here. Loving what I'm seeing. Look at that SL clear from D13. Now a smoke onto the CT connector and out of SL. Smoke deep onto the back of Green Train. What a strat!
The flashes from D13 are just too good. Tamir, he's gotten behind attacker. Someone's got no idea where to look. Pilski, sounds like you're loving it. You're loving it right now. The nerdgasm of a CSGO after seeing that round. Can you believe it? D13 are just putting TYLOO to the sword.
It starts off with Rate in T-Connector. Oh, hold that thought. Let's give TYLOO the benefit of the doubt in a 2-on-4.
Round's over. They're saving.
They've got no kit. But it starts off with Rate in T-Connector, throwing some utility out, drawing some utility back from TYLOO, and maintaining control of that part of the map. And then look at that utility clear of SL. They immediately drop down. And then the execute comes in. Back of Green Train smoke, CT connector smoke, Mr. Caps pegging flashes over the top of the sign in the train yard. All the CTs are blind, and you've got 3 or 4 riflers just running out at you. What do? You don't.
You call a tactical pause.
That was a great strat.
Love to see a breakdown of it, Pilski.
You might be doing so.
Sure, that's something we can work on for the analyst desk segment or something like that.
I mean, if D13 goes through to tomorrow,
oh yeah,
and they win this game, I'm going to be telling everyone how good they are.
They're doing a damn good job of it right now. TYLOO not showing up. And D13 showing up even more so than we expected. We thought they performed well yesterday, but I'd say they're looking better today, actually, than what we saw yesterday. And the craziest thing about this is you go back 2 days and D13 was losing to Camel Riders.
Yes.
So what's going on there?
Look, I didn't even want to mention it, really. Let's just focus on the positive, shall we? Whole bunch of utility being thrown out towards outer. It's another execute. Taka would be the main man to get some work done, and of course he is doing so. Dan King as well. This is going much better for TYLOO. think it was much less pacing there from D13 this time around. You saw them just go for the execute at the start of the round. That's a little bit more straightforward, a little bit easier for TYLOO to stop than what we saw in the previous round where there was setup. There was, you know, a little bit of utility towards inner.
Ooh. Hang on a minute.
No. Well, that's good damage. Even just that one kill is some good damage. D13 has the economy to be able to buy straight back into this one.
Yeah, they'll be able to buy the half out.
And the damage might be relevant moving forward. I don't think they'll be able to buy the half out. If they lose this one, they might have some trouble with the cash.
Really?
Yes. They haven't bought up yet. Score's got 500.
Yeah, okay.
Mr. Caps broke. Rates broke. This would be a great one for TYLOO to be winning.
Yes, indeed. Be a great one for D13 to be winning as well, because again, that would probably put TYLOO on a bit more of an awkward bye heading into the final round of the half.
Yeah. But when you've already got 10 rounds, probably more important for your opponent to be winning it. TYLOO definitely need this one for sure. He's spamming away. 2 players for D13, probing either of the extremities towards inner and towards Ivy. Now some utility thrown out by Rate. You can see that's drawn the attention of some of these TYLOO players who are 4-stacked on this outer bomb site currently. And there's the smoke towards the back of Green Train. That's been a big tell that they've thrown time and time again, that they're going for an outers execute, but this time actually it's a play towards inner. And slowly is all on his lonesome without a single piece of utility.
That's not good, Dan King. He's been given a few opportunities, but surely he can't survive here. The Glock comes out, and I think he's tagged Rate through something or legged him. It doesn't matter. D13 win the round.
Look, Rate and Score didn't even need any of those kills. In the meantime that happened, what you didn't see is that they'd pulled the 4 players over onto the A bomb site and they hit inners and killed slowly, and he was the only one there. They got the bomb down. And then Rate and Score just killed everyone on outers anyway, 2v4. So that went rather well for D13. This is absolutely ridiculous, Jordan.
Yeah.
They literally can't put a foot wrong on this T side of Train. And this is a day where we've seen literally 2 teams pick Train and absolutely suck starting on the T side. And now these guys are showing us how it's done.
Well, it's a nice change, isn't it? Slowly, fully flashed. And Attacker can't do anything. They're already into the B site, and he's just going to have to hide away. Puts himself a smoke down so he doesn't have to worry about that angle. But look at this, D13, they're just moving through the bomb site, gaining control deep into the site and making it more difficult for TYLOO to retake. Now, admittedly, it's not a retake yet because the bomb's not even planted. But does that really matter at this point? Summer trades down Rate, bomb plant finally going down, Score's actually still on the rotate across, and now come the flashbangs out for D13 as they start to get themselves in those post-plant positions. So, normalcy has returned.
Another nice flashbang delays from Score.
There's a molly as well, and there's no smoke for TYLOO.
No kid either.
Going to take the peak onto Annihilation. That'll be the end of the half. What a fantastic first half from D13. They're up 12-3 here on Train. We're going to take a break, but you don't want to go too far because you might miss the second half. There may not be much of it. D13 looking phenomenal here on Train.
days off, keep the hustle moving. Wanna see you be what you wanted to be, prove it. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said all. I know I empower those who dream like me. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said all. I know I empower those who dream like me. And you say you wanna be somebody. And you say you wanna be somebody. And you say you wanna be somebody. And you say you wanna be somebody.
Chasing love in an empty bar. Pour a drink till I make it past. The midnight hour seems to come and go, but I know. Walk on up with a drink in hand, sipping mixers 'cause you can. And all the lights.
Just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up.
Welcome back to ESL 1 Road to Rio Asia portion. If you are confused, no, the scores are not the wrong way around. It's 12-3 on the T side of train for D13 on their map pick, moving into the CT side of train. I'm as shocked as you are.
Yep, me too. Really not much more to say about it, is there? Just been a crazy first half there. TYLOO really struggling on their CT side. D13 here going into it with 12 to play with. If they get the pistol here, I mean, it's over. And even if they don't, it's still looking really tough for TYLOO, but they're certainly not messing around heading into this second half, are they, TYLOO? They're going to overwhelm Annihilation and then just chase down Mr. Cat before he can even put that smoke up. Tamir gets blasted out of SL. And it's all on to Rate and Score, who are, admittedly, hitting a few headshots, but with those USPs, it's still going to be a tough ask for them. And TYLOO, I guess that's one way to get you back into the swing of things heading into the second half.
I mean, nothing's been working for them. How about just turn it on? Just start running at them. Go back into the old strat book. Oh, what's that? Shoot heads? Maybe that'll work for us. So far, so good in the pistol round. D13 going to force up. See if they can get anything done with the pistol and armor. Handful of smokes, handful of utilities. Could definitely work for him. TYLOO rolling out fairly quickly. Looks like a SL and T-Con push split on the outers.
Oh.
What is that from Tamir? He's running at them.
He doesn't
With
care.
a CZ. Only a 1-for-1, but still.
It's the intent. It's the thought that counts.
He's sent a message.
That's right. (9-6) for Marzalai at the moment over Camel Riders in the first map. So we have to keep an eye on that match as well, because it does have a lot of context in regard to the whole group of Group B here for TYLOO and D13 as well. But TYLOO are going to work their way into the B bomb site. Already a rotation coming across from D13. And they have two players, and they have Rate on the B bomb site, who smashes away Summer and Dan King. Score, you can bet that he's going to finish that one off, no problems at all with an AK. And that round, it just disappears. It looks way too easy. And yet you think D13's the one that come into that one with CZs and Deagles. Like, what is going on?
Nothing can go wrong for them at this point. And TYLOO instantly reset, back to square one. Probably looking at trying to force into this round, I would imagine. It's what we usually see from a lot of these teams. Not really buying yet. I guess they're taking a save. That's very un-TYLOO of them. So we'll see what they can get done with these couple of Deagles.
Just the Eagles here for TYLOO, and a disappointing start to the half for them, but we'll see if they can convert anything in here. Mr. Cap's gotten rid of Summer.
Well, not the only person that's being dealt with. Score is 18-5 against one of the top teams in the region. He's not even 18 years old yet,
And
Jordan.
perhaps the most foreboding name in the region as well. It's not even just that they're a good team, it's that you're going up against TYLOO. And this guy just doesn't care. It's like he's playing in a pug or in DMs or something. He's just blasting everyone's head off.
TYLOO gonna buy up. Can't really put together that good of a buy, to be honest. Down King's really favouring the utility here. Same thing with Slowly and Summer. Attacker and somebody going for AK and armor. Do they have something in particular planned with this utility is what I'm wondering. Looks like running very quickly towards inner. Slowly going over here towards Ivy. Right. Soloing this B-bomb site for the time being. Should be calling for a rotate anytime soon. Annihilation heading over in that direction as D13 take control of T Connector. D13, are they just... I thought they were about to stack inners very quickly. Score's been flashed in towards SL. So there's quite a bit of information for D13, making all the right moves. Nice nade, smoke from Annihilation. This execute comes in from TYLOO.
Oh, Annihilation, he's burning alive! How long did he stand in that Molotov for? That is crazy. TYLOO have just walked into the B site. I think D13 will just probably save here. Tamir, maybe not. He's only got an MP9 though, and I think that's probably all the action we'll get.
Well, definitely not ideal. It's a bit of a contrast, isn't it, to Annihilation running around, one-tapping people with that AK on T side to burning alive. Here's a little bit of a replay of one of those really nice executes we saw from D13. See Rate going out of connector, the flashes going over the top. Tamir's already behind them. Score's already ready to deal with that player on top of Blue Train. Tamir's all the way behind Bomb Train before anything's even happened. And that's all as a result of this smoke that you see on the right side of your screen. Tamir's thrown that as a progression outside of SL after they've cleared SL. And that's got him very, very deep into the site before TYLOO can even react. Particularly that player at E-Box there was just absolutely full white. And there was really no reaction there for TYLOO. There was nothing they could do. There was smokes on all the important lines of vision. There was players behind them, in front of them, to the side of them, and they were full white. What do you really do? You love to see it. I'd love to take many, many looks at that round, to be honest. Regardless, though, we have a new one. TYLOO with a full buy. D13 is once again deep control of T Connector. Scores in SL as well. Attacker, nice movement. Grabs some info. Throws a molly there. Exchange with a smoke, which doesn't work. Please fix, Gabe.
Just a little tickle for Score, nothing to get too concerned about. TYLOO taking this one pretty slow.
What are they setting up for? At the moment, somebody's above SL. Attackers joining the rest of the lads over here towards T Connector. Looks like it's a bit of a 1-1-3 split towards outers, I would imagine. Somebody probably going to throw some utility towards inner, perhaps. There's the rest of the boys. Actually, it's a 4-man creep out of Ivy. So maybe they'll go towards dark side instead. There's a smoke that is onto dark side and a molly on the right side. So here's where I want to know. Are they going to go through their own smoke, or are they going towards this outer side just with a 4-man? Yep, that's exactly right. Straight towards dark side. They're going to try and wrap to B, and there's no response from D13. I don't know if they've even seen this Annihilation. He's still not looking in the right direction.
No, he's got no idea. It's too little too late, even if he were to turn around now, and Summer gets the free kill. Rate is still continuing to watch the ramp. He's going to have to take some fancy fragging here for D13 to survive. In fact, the bomb's going down on A. Attacker and slowly deal with the players coming through the connector pretty quickly. That's a really confusing round from the perspective of D13. They just had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
And then when they think they know, they still don't.
It's a bit of a masterstroke as well, because you see at the end there, when TYLOO are just charging dark side and they're going into CT spawn, not only is Score deep in SL, which they know about from a while ago, so there's no player that's really in position to see them on that CT wrap, but also somebody throws a flashbang onto that B bomb site to try to mask those footsteps potentially. So Annihilation, he's half white, and by the time, you know, the rest of TYLOO make their way through CT spawn, it's already too late. He's already surrounded by players, and then TYLOO wrap back towards outer. Not a single gun held onto by D13. Their money's very broken here. But I'd say at 14 rounds already, it's probably job done here. It's probably only a matter of time, but it is TYLOO. This is a team with enough experience to grind back an 8 to 9 round deficit, that's for sure. And they're playing confident enough to do it.
Yeah, they are starting to... I mean, it's not really becoming a problem just yet for D13, but you are kind of starting to see those seeds of doubt. At least I'm sort of feeling that.
How does he do it every time, right?
Good with the deagle.
He's untouchable with a deagle. Just take it into the gun rounds, mate.
Ooh. Cheeky. Interesting.
Unfortunate.
TYLOO just letting Rate know that they know, but it's an interesting one from Slowly. Just charging up the ladder. And
Trying to get a bit too cheeky. Somebody as well.
well, he's got a player wrapping around behind him here. Does Rate, but he's heard it.
Pulls out the deagle, Jordan. Why would you use the AK?
Who needs it? 20 bullets. No, not like he really needed to pull the deagle out, was it?
No. Just style points. 4 guns taken away at the end of the round from TYLOO. That's gotten a little bit expensive there. And Rate's got himself an AK, and you love to see this for D13. They're not going to overcommit to that buy. There's no need to, really. Just stack up that loss bonus and make sure you're able to get those AA WPs and all the utility. You've got the round gap to do it. You've definitely done a hell of a lot of damage that last round to TYLOO's economy.
Well, a bit of a chance for some more here. Rate is already on the move over from the B side. He's up in the brown halls. Obviously, it's on the A bomb site for TYLOO, so he's not too concerned about what's going on his rotation. Plan has gone down. Slowly's pretty low on HP, though. Tamir won't win that fight, nor will Annihilation, so Rate coming in from SL, probably the only one that's liable to do any real significant damage in this one. But that said, Score, faced with somebody who doesn't have a huge amount of HP, does actually end up finding himself another AK, and Slowly's potentially prompted to push through that smoke to try and steal that AK back. Looks like Score would have gotten out okay if he would have just run into CT spawn, but ends up getting a little bit greedy for another frag, and he will end up going down. Rate continuing with the AK from the previous.
Is the buy for D13. AA WP, purchased straight up. Full sets of utility kits, all the bells and whistles, Jordan. Looking very nice. No AWP for TYLOO. Don't think they should be picking it up the way that they're playing. They've been moving everywhere. They've been everywhere. 3 smokes, a very quick execute on this outer bomb site. Back a green train smoke, sandwich smoke from TYLOO. Floaty's getting ready to be sent. Goes through Hell's side actually, and a walk straight through the smoke from Tamir.
Not going to catch Slowly out. He's a little bit too cottoned on to the shenanigans that D13 have been throwing in here, and D13 certainly have been struggling to find this map point round, this 15th round. That seems to have continued here. Maybe the graphic that we saw at the start of this one was correct. It said D13 and TYLOO were more favored on the T side. And here we are.
Yeah, TYLOO, the way that they're playing, they kind of look pretty pissed, you know? They're just running at D13 full force, just getting straight into that outer's yard. You saw the wrap through dark side, setting the pace straight on the flank in round number 20. It's like D13 going to be able to save those 3 guns. Tactical timeout for D13. So let's take a look at that round, shall we? Number 20. It's where you saw TYLOO. They got the Molotov on that right side, the smoke on the left, which sort of tells D13 that, hey, this might be a bit of an Ivy split, but instead it is a wrap towards dark side. And you can see Summer. I'm pretty sure he's the man doing the in-game leading duties for TYLOO. Somebody throws that flash. Annihilation's still a little bit white when Summer comes and shoots him in the side of the head. And I'm sure Summer knows exactly what his job is there because he's the man leading the troops as he's pulled the rotation with that kill onto Annihilation, pulled the over-rotation, and now TYLOO, somebody goes back down SL and the rest of the lads go straight onto that outer bomb site. That's a fantastic call.
Yeah, and you could really tell that TYLOO were the ones that were dictating everything in that round. D13 had no idea what was going on.
No,
And
TYLOO were like 4 steps ahead.
Exactly, and by the time Annihilation goes down, D13's like, go, rotate over to B. But TYLOO's walking out from Ivy there and getting bombed down on the A side. It's just crazy. It's madness. Anyway,
that's the second time that Tamir's run through that sandwich.
And the second time, it's resulted in a kill for Slowly.
You can't be doing that. Annihilation's managed to wallbang him, maybe shoot him through a smoke, and TYLOO grouping up in this lowers. Smoke just goes straight out of it. Wait can't do anything about it because Attacker snapped his head off.
Oh, man. This is looking like it's just slipping away a little bit for D13.
Honestly, I feel like D13 have, if anything, made TYLOO take them a little bit seriously. Maybe not score, though. Still a little bit cheeky, this 17-year-old.
Yeah, well, it's nice to get that bit of extra cash on the CT side. Look at what that does for the D13 economy. Still gives him plenty of time to get over to the B site here, but TYLOO did plant the bomb relatively quickly. Okay. Somebody is going to go down, but Attacker easily able to trade there for score. And while Annihilation does get a nice one back onto Attacker, he won't have too much time. And so that's another round for TYLOO as they inch closer to D13.
Yeah, and they've strung enough together here to build themselves up a very strong economy. As for D13, well and truly in full loss bonus. We'll be able to buy again into this round. It's starting to get a little bit too close for comfort. And D13, they will have to win 2 gun rounds in a row. Because TYLOO's not going to be running out of money anytime soon. Single AWP this time around. TYLOO doesn't look like they're going to be letting up on the pace slowly. Out on the wing towards Ivy once again. Tamir trying to get aggressive.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's a nice deep smoke, though.
Over on the other side of the map, though, TYLOO starting to group towards inner. Great, chucking out a bit of a flash. Maybe sort of trying to sell that there might be a player towards upper ramp. But there is not. It's just Annihilation posted on that lower ramp from CT Connector. Score.
Ooh.
Yeah, almost getting spammed out there, but he's going to hold his nerve. Nice setup towards inner. We've seen this angle work for many players today. Rate just on that flamey angle now moving under coils. He's actually going to go towards upper and make a bit of a push, potentially. No, he just sits on the side as Annihilation's got that upper ramp area locked down.
Oh, somebody just dodging that bullet with the progression smoke here for him. Does take a peek into the site, keeping a look at the spools. Rate's been spotted. It's a little too late, though, for poor old Summer, who was trying to plant the bomb. And only now does Attacker trade Rate back on down. Slowly's position is good, though, and he'll have called that there's a player coming in through the connector. Somebody will smoke off Tamir. And Slowly's pretty much waiting for Mr. Cap now. He knows roughly where he's going to be. Somebody does catch Tamir. And I think Mr. Cap goes down here as well pretty comfortably. TYLOO are up to 11. And another step forward for them, while D13 just at a standstill right now.
Attacker is absolutely slapping these Mongolian fellas around. I'll tell you that, Jordan. The man is just running into all the sites, slapping some heads around. Easy as you'd like. Around definitely could have got difficult, but you're just seeing Attacker well and truly in control. I don't really like this force up from D13. Would have liked to see them take a save here. Annihilation has got 1900. Rest of the lads keeping a bit of cash in the bank.
Rate's going to try and go quickly. He would have been heard. That tick, that one tick. And of course the elephant feet as well give away his position. Somebody's ready.
I think we're seeing some inexperience start to show from D13 here, Jordan.
They're letting it slip. That is indeed the case.
14-6, was it?
Something like that. 12-3 first half. On the T side, no less.
I think you need to see score hold onto this AWP. It's going to be hard to, though. Somebody's walking through in. There's no way they expect a player here. Good timing, favouring score, though. At least gets away with his life, but you can see TYLOO starting to put this bomb down. They're definitely trying to keep these CTs contained, potentially. They've got a lot of cash in the bank, so I think they're well aware. You can start to see them hunting Attacker, moving through dark side, slowly checking Ivy. Someone moving back through T-Con. They really want to hunt these last two CTs down here, Jordan.
As the primary prize, Mr. Cap only holding an MP9. Really doesn't make too much of a difference if he goes through, but doesn't look like that'll be happening. 14-12. One step closer for TYLOO.
D13 going to take their last tactical timeout, and I think they should be taking a save here. Bit of a hasty force in the last one, if you ask me. Going down to MP9s and stuff like that, and there you go. The half buyout from D13, but they do not have many rounds to play with, and they need to win 2 gun rounds in a row. And after they were up 14-5 at one point, I'd say that they have not nearly won as many gun rounds as TYLOO has. You know, how many is that in a row? Not all of them gun rounds, but what, maybe like 5 or 6 gun rounds at least won by TYLOO in a row, maybe more.
Feels like more, honestly.
And I think mentality-wise, if D13 drop this map here, that's
They're
probably the
crushed.
end of the series, yeah.
Not at that point yet. They might still get over the line. Bit of damage this time onto TYLOO. They've recognized that the faster player's there and throw the nades early, but it's just pistols, and that's not as dangerous for TYLOO as some of the previous rounds, and they do get by it okay. It was scary for a moment with Mr. Cat being up on top of that train. Rate in a 1-on-3. I mean, he's been good with the Deagle, that's for sure, but can you really back him in this round? And I'd say no.
I don't know. He 1v5'd yesterday with it. Like Summers making sure that he's cottoned onto all the possibilities, and that's going to land him a headshot. Raid actually hit that first shot with the Deagle as well. There was potential there. And now here we are, 14-13. Unbelievable they've let it slip this far. Back onto the double AWP. Need 2 in a row here, D13. Let's see if this pressure is going to get to them. It's been a lot of rounds in a row for TYLOO. A triple nade onto T-Connector and a Molotov to Olaf. Just because you've seen TYLOO time and time again go aggressive on that outer side.
Oh. Mr. Cap, it might be the opener that they need. Attacker also falls to Tamir. Is this the round that puts D13 over the edge?
But B, progression smoke from Slowly. Trying to make something happen over here towards Ivy, being joined up by Dan King, who could send him out with a flashbang. Somebody making his way back through halls. Good timed molly. Should push slowly out. It does. Has he heard the burning, though? Yes, he has.
Trying times now for TYLOO. Really nice to get a bit more damage actually onto the CT economy.
Couldn't hurt. They do have a lot of loss bonus built up though.
Oh, out goes somebody. Round's never over until somebody's dead.
Let's look at it for what it is. Scores actually towards the front of Old Bomb. Mr. Cap's very defensive in towards CT spawn. They actually don't really have any control of this outer train yard. TYLOO's probably going to be allowed to put the bomb down here.
Depends where Dan King puts it. Score might start to creep his way out. Will somebody check it? That is the real question. Somebody! He doesn't even get the kill, and Dan King's in all sorts of problems there. It really had to be somebody. Had he done it, though? A 3-on-2?
Could have been done. Well, hasn't, though. 15 and 13 for TYLOO. Oh, well, for D13, but for TYLOO to chase. That's what I was going for. They've got to close this 2-round gap to push it to OT. And I'd say if they do so, they're playing well enough to probably win this game. Two match points for D13 to put it over the line. That last round, I'd say in some regard was probably given to D13 by TYLOO. Couple of players just sort of running into D13 and giving them some easier tools rather than them sort of working for it. I don't think that TYLOO's going to be keen to do that again. Annihilation rotating back towards inner, joining up with Rate. He's still got a Molotov to hold on to. He's going to need it because I think TYLOO are going to be walking back towards inner pretty quickly here. Tamir with full SL control. Could go for a quick flank. And TYLOO, they're serious here. They really want to go hard for inners. No player left on the other side of the map. No slowly to wrap through Ivy late into the round. Don't think Annihilation's going to be given that line. Has been smoked off many times. Maybe not this time, though. They are going out up a ramp.
No flashes there. Oh, no! And this is how you lose the map, TYLOO. Annihilation is just deleting them out of the server. Dan King, he's able to trade it down, but he won't survive for too much longer either. It is just on to somebody. 1-on-3. He's waiting for Score.
No.
Get that kill as well. Hold your horses. It's not over yet.
Could go back towards outer. Mr. Cap scrambling through CT connector to post up on SL. He needs to hit this shot. No shoulder peek from somebody, and the AWPs do it for D13. An upset on the first map over TYLOO. We'll see you in the next map.